He's gotta be. Whoa!
The only reason you're still alive is that I find your stupidity mildly amusing.
Lord Shen is one of the most evil villains in animated movie history. We're talking about the individual that massacred an entire village of pandas. The last time I remember a movie going this dark with a villain would have to be in The Lion King when Mufasa kills his own brother. But at the same time, that's just one life. Shen killed many, and even though he's not my preferred villain of the Kung Fu Panda series, that title will be held by Tai Lung. He is still the trilogy's most menacing and evil antagonist. And the only reason why I prefer Tai Lung is just because I enjoy his intimidating physical presence. Because at the end of the day, Shen is just a peacock, and compared to a snow leopard, a peacock is not that menacing of an animal. But the awesome part about his character is that Shen's mind and brutality makes up for this. Just think of it as the Dark Knight trilogy. I love Tai Lung the way I love Bane, in the sense that he's a physical threat to Batman, our hero, just like Tai Lung is a physical threat to Poe. However, we all know that Bane is not the greatest villain in the Dark Knight trilogy. That crown is held by the Joker, and some would even consider him to be one of the best villains in movie history. And if you think about it, the Joker is not an imposing force of nature. He uses his wicked intellect just as Shen uses his cunning to deceive and outsmart his opponents. So today I'm going to be analyzing what makes Lord Shen Kung Fu Panda's greatest villain. Born into a royal family, Lord Shen was expected to inherit his father's throne and rule the kingdom with honor and dignity. From a young age, he was consumed by a burning desire for power and control. He was willing to do whatever it took to achieve his goals. As he grew older, Lord Shen became increasingly obsessed with the idea of conquering the world. He saw himself as the rightful ruler of all that surveyed, and he was convinced that he had the strength and cunning to make his dreams a reality. But Lord Shen was not content to simply amass an army and march across the land. He was a master of dark magic, and he used his powers to create a weapon of unimaginable power, a device that could shoot a stream of deadly cannonballs at his enemies. He ordered his army to mine for the ingredients needed to create this weapon, and he relentlessly pursued its creation, no matter the cost. He was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve his ultimate goal. With his weapon in hand, Lord Shen set out to conquer the world. He showed no mercy to those who opposed him, and his armies marched across the land, leaving a trail of destruction and death in their wake. His quest for power ultimately led to his exile from his own kingdom. His parents could not bear to see what their son had become, and they banished him from the city. But Lord Shen was not deterred. He continued to develop his weapon in secret, building an army of loyal followers to aid him in his quest. But it was not just his military might that made Lord Shen so terrifying. He was also a master of manipulation and deception, able to twist the minds of those around him and make them do his bidding. He surrounded himself with loyal followers who were willing to do whatever he asked, no matter how dark or depraved. Despite the many challenges that he faced, Lord Shen was relentless in his pursuit of power. He was always looking for new ways to increase his strength and cement his dominance, and he was willing to make whatever sacrifices were necessary to achieve his goal. This backstory is a great starting off point because it gives our villain depth, as we now know why he is doing what he is doing and why he is after what he wants, making him a more complex character. But what's even more important to take away from this backstory is that it connects our villain with our hero, which leads me to my next point, making the villain personal. What makes Shen such a great villain is his connection with Poe. Shen is literally the one remnant that Poe has of his past. And throughout the movie, Poe is desperately trying to reconnect with his past, and Shen uses that against him. And when they run into each other for the second time, Shen knows that Poe has PTSD from that night and uses his feathers to fan out his tail and prey on the panda's desperation. And this is exactly when he hits Poe at his core like no other villain could. And he looks Poe dead in the eyes and tells him straight to his face that he was there when his parents left him and that they never loved him.
Your parents didn't love you.
It's such a viciously cruel line that you know really cuts deep in Poe's mind. A parent's abandonment of a child is one of the most unbearable pains a kid can go through, and one that you turn into rage that you can dedicate your entire life to try to avenge. I mean, someone would certainly agree with that. The sensation of being disliked or rejected causes an individual to feel unloved and undeserving of love. This leads to a sense of having to prove oneself, which is the emotional state experienced by Shen throughout the movie. Shen's psychological manipulation of Poe leaves the panda of vulnerable to nearly being killed. When Po is at his weakest, Shen is at his strongest. And this moment serves to link the two characters. This scene is a contrast to the compassion Po shows at the end of the film, but both are tied together by the theme of identity, which runs throughout the movie. The main philosophical question of this movie is, who am I? The theme of identity explored in the first movie is expanded on further in this movie, where the two characters are linked together by trauma they have experienced in their lives. Po realizes that the past does not define him, and he has the ability to choose who he is at present. On the other hand, Shen cannot answer this question as his life has been lived in fear and vengeance. Shen's inability to live in the present leads to his downfall, and he fails where Po succeeds. Shen ultimately realized that his anger and lust for vengeance were unjustified, but it was too late, and he was unable to let go of the past. Shen's need for vindication ultimately led to his downfall, and he died with the realization that his peace existed in his now fallen parents and their words and actions, which he could never get back. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Comment down below, is Shen your favorite villain in the Kung Fu Panda series? I still think Tai Lung's my favorite. And let me know if you guys want to see a video essay on Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.